everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And I'm Adam. There's Adam, and the name of the show is Deep Space Babylon 59. Adam, welcome to the program, sir. Adam is, unlike the two of us, a big fan and knowledgeable on both of these shows. Yes. So he's going to have, and this is very hard for Adam, he's going to have to be very careful not to give things away to me as we, and to Eric on the respective shows that we don't know very well as we move along. Adam is hopefully going to pop in here and there whenever he's got time to be on the show, and you are always welcome, buddy. I hope you can, until you accidentally give away something really major in Babylon 5, and then you're never coming back. Yeah. I'll pretend like
Or Deep Space Nine.
It's probably a good thing we didn't have him on for Science Importance.
Probably
I
so.
would have.
No,
Bit my tongue.
He would have just sat there. He's like, I don't know why I'm even here. I can't talk.
I can't tell you.
I can't say anything. So we decided to have Adam on talking about two of the least important and not so great episodes of each of these shows. Today we're going to talk about progress in Deep Space Nine, which isn't really progressing much of anything and isn't the best episode ever. And we're also going to talk about T.K.O. in Babylon 5, the obligatory, not underground and not exactly a fight, well, sort of a fight club.
It's a fight club.
Yeah, it
above board fight club.
It actually is above board.
They talked about it on television, didn't they? Did they have like a little news broadcast?
I'm not sure if they did.
or something where they it's like.
It might have been televised across the station.
It's going to be
sure.
fighting in the Mutai on Babylon 5.
I would have loved it if there were co-commentary. I really wish there'd been commentators on this. But yeah, no, I get the sense that I feel like this was really pushing envelopes for the Fight Club episode because it was actually legal and okay, and you never have that.
And no one took it too far.
Yeah.
Yes. There were rules.
Yeah, and nobody got kidnapped to be in it.
Yep.
You know?
It was a game changer that we all ignored.
Yeah. The Rock wasn't in it. That was the...
Well, this was 5 years before that. I mean, The Rock was, 88, 89? Or 88, excuse me, 98, 99. Yes. Sukatsu would have been, obviously when he was huge in wrestling, on EPN.
Yes.
It was,
that was the only reason why I was in that.
Season 5? Season 4 or 5?
Yeah, it was at least that. It was later than that, I thought. I thought it was like 6.
Of what?
A Voyager.
The Rock was
The Rock shows up on Voyager?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's an episode called Sunkatsu, and that's their... The Sunkatsu is their underground... and their underground fight club thing. That's the name of the martial art that they're doing.
Okay.
Which just looks like any mixed martial art thing you've ever seen.
Well, that's kind of like the Mutai in this.
That's true. Yeah. It actually does look like, and it's also sort of Mortal Kombat-ish.
Yes.
But that also has Jeffrey Combs. That's one of the Jeffrey Combs episodes.
It is Jeffrey Combs.
And it could have been anybody. But anyway, moving right along, let's progress our episode, our video today, by talking about progress. So, Eric, tell us a little bit about progress.
So there's a moon over Bajor that they're going to drain the molten core of to give
power.
Is it energy?
It's energy for Bajorans.
Okay, so they're going to give like a bunch of power to everyone.
And there's going to go into their power plans. I don't think it's like you're going to hand out pieces of molten core.
No. But like thousands of people are going to have like lights and working electricity and things like that, and there's one guy that doesn't want this to happen because he lives there. And Kira goes down, and she's like, you know what? This guy totally has a point. He shouldn't have to move to help thousands of people.
And it wasn't because of any kind of environmental catastrophe destroying an entire moon.
No, just didn't feel like
he felt sorry for him because he'd been an old man living up there for all these years.
See, this isn't the... Because you made the joke while we were watching it, the like bypass thing from...
Hitchhiker.
From Hitchhiker.
Yes.
This isn't like that.
Bypasses have got to be built!
This isn't like that.
No, it's not like that at all.
It would be like they showed up and they were like, by the way, like, if we tear down your house, we'll be able to feed all of Africa. And he was like, well, I like living in my house, so therefore, screw off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, not corporate, it's not bureaucry.
Nope, and he treats them...
They're trying to rebuild their society here.
He treats them like they are a totalitarian government coming in.
Like
it's obnoxious, and the fact that Kira, like, sympathizes with him at all is obnoxious.
The only point he sort of has is he won't get to live the same kind of life he lives there, except he totally will.
Yes.
Because when we ever go to any... I mean, you talked about this last episode, where you were like, these people look like
Sure
they're
looks
kind of
exactly like this moon.
Well, but also that they live kind of backwater, and I mean that's not a fair way to put it, but like they don't live like a real advanced society.
Right.
A lot of people live in villages where they don't even have power.
They live
and
almost
stuff.
Renaissance-y.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or colonial, I guess would probably be closer.
Yes. I was gonna say like Mennonite or something.
Yeah,
even.
yeah. And then the B plot is that Jake and Nog get five pieces of gold platinum.
Yes.
No, they get more than that. They get 5 bars.
Five bars.
That's a lot.
It's bars is the highest, and before that it's strips, and before that it's slips.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
What can you buy with 5 bars of gold platinum?
I don't really
All
know.
kinds
of
the
stuff.
exchange rate, but it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
They were real set on 5. I mean, they wavered the second anyone was like, I don't know about 5 bars. Like, what about 4?
He was like, I'll take 1.
But it always starts with 5.
Yeah.
It felt like there was something that they wanted to do.
I don't know.
with
It's
that.
probably supposed to be that he's just really, overly ambitious and naive. But the problem is that this is one of the first times, if not the first time, that we have any sense of numbers of the currency, and so we don't have any context. We don't know how much that is.
And
I know
there's no lesson learned here.
Yeah.
They kind of mess up, and then they kind of mess up, and then they get what they wanted, and I don't know what I was supposed to get.
I don't know
from
what he's
it.
going to do with that. I don't know if Jake's going to get half of it. They don't even talk about how they're going to split it.
Need money. Jake doesn't know. Why does he?
Well,
even
he
need
does
this
if
money?
he needs anything on the promenade.
That's
I mean,
true.
if you live there,
he might want to get something from.
If he wants to get anything his dad, he doesn't want his dad to know
interesting
about.
that like kids that would grow up without any kind of monetary system that would live on Deep Space Nine could be kind of corrupted by it.
Yes.
But that's what happens in
this
that
happens
plot.
again later too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is like though? It's not like Hitchhiker, the A story. You know what that story is kind of like? It's kind of like Insurrection.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Where no, you guys should just leave.
Yes.
You know, and Picard shouldn't be throwing his career away over that. No, it's a lot like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really strange. All you had to do was write this in such a way where he kind of has a point, and they needed less altruistic motives for why they were being pulled off.
Right.
They seem to think he had, like they seem to think they did write something where he has, and this is also one of the few episodes I've seen thus far where the credits don't have like 4 people. Where it's like story by this person, written by this person. This was just written by one guy.
Really.
Maybe Star Trek needs those like 6 people on every episode.
Yeah, it's a, we always complain about things written by committee. No, we needed the committee here. Maybe
I think this is my least favorite of all the episodes we've watched.
Wow.
I mean, relatively speaking to what we want, like I think this is the worst one.
He hasn't watched the episode.
That's true. He hasn't seen that, yeah. But that's at least that at least has some entertainment value in in a similar way, I guess.
This
as
is
Move Along Home.
This is the first one I was bored
boring.
by.
It was boring. That was Nothing.
Yeah, it's
pretty
dull.
She does at the end what she should have done 2 seconds after getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's annoying?
No, I'm not moving. Beam him up.
What's annoying is there's some great production value. The set with that house is awesome.
Yeah.
I love the window that's in the shape of the Bajoran symbol.
Yeah.
That's really cool. The Bajoran architecture in general is really interesting.
Yes.
I like what you said. Colonial or even like kind of Renaissance, where we go we go back that far, and we're really consistent with it. It looks great.
Right.
Also, his performance, he's really endearing, but the character isn't necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dull. The thing that for whatever reason, because I don't remember a lot of first season, because I don't like much of first season, and so I haven't gone back to it much. For whatever reason, the Yamak sauce and the self-sealing stimbles always stick with me.
I think they both come up later in the show, just like just mention them offhand and stuff.
Both of them, as you said, both of them.
So can I assume that
there's a point where we actually see what a stimble?
I think.
Well, we see them, I guess, but.
So am I to just assume that they're like screws that go on their own?
I guess
that seems dangerous. I feel like a lot of people get their fingers like.
What I like is
nipped.
that, although I think it's fun that they're ambiguous about it, and that O'Brien has no idea what they are. I think that's really funny. He's like, I've never used them. I don't know what they do.
Star Trek Encyclopedia, there's like a rendering of them where there's like a little box, and one's like this, and one's like that, and I don't even know how they would even fit into anything.
and then no other major character is really all that involved.
Right.
In this episode.
Cisco shows up and is like, I'm not angry at you, Kira. I'm just disappointed.
Odo's in there for like 2 seconds at the end.
Yeah.
Bashir's in there for like 2 seconds.
Dax
is in there for 2
I don't remember Bashir.
He goes to beam down when the guy gets phasered.
Okay. It seemed like we were going to do something with Kira and Dax, because they haven't really interacted, and then...
And it's one of those typical teasers where
once again, no Dax.
Where we just have a character that's not going to really figure into the episode to do comedic things at the beginning, and then we write them out. We've done that with O'Brien before. We talked about that. Here, it's they're talking about Morn, and Dax has this ongoing thing she'll have where she finds weird, repugnant to other people aliens attractive because she's lived a bunch of lifetimes, and that's supposed to be funny every time.
Yes.
And so I guess she thinks Morn is cute.
Yes.
I like it with Captain Baudet more because we never actually see
running
him.
Joke and they keep it going. Like,
it's great, yeah. That's the guy with the transparent skull. He's a Galamite. They've got transparent skulls, and they never show one.
Yeah.
Really glad they never show one. I bet there's a whole novel about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, and what else about this episode do you guys want to talk about? It's called Progress. I guess the only thing that connects these two subplots is that title.
Yeah.
I guess it's on. And the thing is, with that title, with the A story, you'd think it would be progress in the sense that is it like worth,
is it really progress?
Yeah, or is progress worth the things you do to individuals in order to achieve it? And I'm sorry, but in this case, well, yeah, because I mean you're
because okay, here's how you fix
you said, you're rebuilding your society.
Here's how you fix the Kira plot with like a slight another pass. Don't play into the totalitarian thing.
Yeah.
Make it be like
you got a nice recovery.
Yeah. Make it be like you're gonna take this energy, but how much are you gonna charge people for it, or something like that? Where it's like you're telling me that you're gonna help thousands of people with this, but what is it gonna cost them? It's not like you're just gonna give to them something like that, where you're at least like, well, yeah, he's kind of got a point, like.
Yeah, or and this wouldn't be as good as what you're saying, because that's really good, or if it was like, he's been on this moon so long, he never dealt with the Cardassians. He doesn't remotely appreciate what Bajor has gone through.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something like that, but nope, he's dealt with them, he talks about that, he hates them as much as every other Bajoran does.
I know, but he would have had to be really old for that to work, because weren't they there for like 100 years?
That's true, but
that's the entire...
But here's my question, how important is it really that he's old?
That's true.
Because, I mean, it's supposed to sort of be that, he wants to die there and stuff, but I feel like you could do this just as easily with a 35, 40... Yeah, he could have been born there. That would have been good. But because he says that he's the first person who ever lived there, I don't buy that. It's like a Class M moon. There's no way they didn't use this. And as you said while we were watching it, they've had space travel for a bazillion years. Yeah. But no, that would have been good if he was born there.
Yes.
But we do almost the same plot with closing a store in 1159, and that guy doesn't have to be ancient. I mean, that episode is as bad or worse than this, but
well, the Cardassian
that's a Voyager episode.
And the Cardassian thing is the whole argument he has is, are you any different than them?
Yeah, and yes,
you're a bunch of jackboot thugs just like they are. No, that's not what's happening.
Especially because they're way too tolerant, and
she tried so hard.
She freaking stayed there for 10 days.
But in the end, it didn't even matter.
And I misremembered. I thought that Jake and Nog, the land that they got, wound up going to that guy or something that they... No,
I know, but that would have been really convenient. Yeah. And that whole thing was weird. We talked about this when we watched it. That we don't know where that land is.
Yes. Yeah.
Because at the end, it looks like it's Bajor, but it seems like they know who they're talking about and where he is, but they don't tell us that. So that's really strange. Yeah. But anyway, so unless you guys have something else to say about this episode.
I don't think there's anything else to say about
let's go ahead and move on then.
Let's progress.
Let's progress on to an episode that I enjoyed watching more. I don't know if it's a better episode than this, but and relative to Babylon 5, all I've heard from Adam all week is, why did you have to bring me in on this episode? I hate the boxing episode. It's T.K.O. It's the boxing episode.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered, actually.
Yeah, and relatively speaking, this is just a nothing episode. It's not bad.
Right.
No,
the Jewish stuff is a little overwritten.
There is some awful writing in there. Yeah. But I was with it until she started pining away for her father. That was the whole thing there. Help me again. What is her name? Ivanova, thank you. Is this her first character episode, or like...
No, because we do watch her dad die.
Oh, that's right, I forgot all about that. Oh, and we flash back to it. That's right, I couldn't remember that I forgot that we had seen that.
That's why I was wondering if
of an
put
episode.
It in there, because like maybe people had missed that episode.
Or there were people had forgotten, because it's now, 6 weeks
Several
later.
weeks later, exactly.
Okay, I'll tell you what I like about that. I like that we track that kind of stuff. There's a lot of shows like this that wouldn't track that. Where like her father died and we saw it happen, and then months later, like, how is she dealing with it? We don't always do that.
Yeah.
Right, and they also build up upon like her talking about how her mom and what she went through with the Psychor and what she had told Talia,
which we haven't talked about
first
much
showed up.
in a long time. I mean,
Talia's been not. Talia's like Dax. We're like sometimes they're kind of.
And she's also like Dax in that she's like Fax. She's the Fax of this show. She's also like Dax in that she's really interesting, and I haven't seen enough of her. Like, I want to think she could be one of my favorite characters, but we haven't done a lot with her. I guess the difference is you've told me that she's a recurring character before she's a regular, and Dax, of course, is a regular.
Yeah.
But anyway, so so I guess that's sort of the B story. But since we started there, I guess I guess I'll start there with.
Of course, I would consider the Doctor a regular on B5. We haven't seen him in a couple episodes either.
That's true.
Not since Believers, I don't think. But anyways, which was 8 months ago.
Right.
So she is Ivanova is refusing to mourn her father in the proper Jewish custom, and what is the relation of that? Is he just her rabbi? I wasn't sure if they were related in some way. Or
No, it's just a family.
And I had to keep reminding myself that he wasn't like a close relative, because this guy is Worf's human father, and there are similarities with him in the story. I kept telling you that. Yeah, that from Family. We watched that.
That wasn't.
Yeah, that's Sergei Rushenko. That's why I kept making the joke. I have all the schematics at home. And he's all excited about the station.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
And he's like, this is amazing, and I'm in space, and I'm like, he plays the same character in two different space shows. I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
He's a different. So he's a fantastic actor.
Yes.
Like, he's
had a long
brilliant.
career. Theater by
Yeah, and you said he was a big
career.
And you said he was the first person to play Tivy.
Tevye on Fiddler on the Roof. I
believe
on Broadway. I think.
Interesting.
Leonard Nimoy.
I know he played him at one point, but I don't.
Leonard Nimoy in the early '70s, and that was one of his favorite parts. Played that role.
He did, yeah.
But anyway, so he kind of helps her to come to terms with her father's death and go ahead and go through with this custom, and it takes a really long time to get her there. And of course, I buy that, but I don't know how much of it I really needed to see. That was kind of the big thing for me with this. Is I was going along with it, and I kind of felt her. I felt for her plight. I liked all the. We didn't talk about it a lot, but I liked bringing up the Psychor thing, where he's like, that's a law, and there's nothing he could do about it. It's like, yeah, but he could have treated us better. He could have made us feel better about it. He's our father. That was his duty to do that. And so I appreciated that whole thing a lot.
It's not written well.
No, it's not written well. And at the moment she starts talking about that, that's when I check out, because she starts saying things that people in real life never say, and it starts like philosophizing or something on the page where she's like, I forget the way it was worded, but it was really cringeworthy.
Well, and the answer to what she's saying, I don't think ever gets said, which is, it really should have just made you realize he's also human, and he was also going through things, and that's never brought up. I mean, I guess, like, kind of by the end, but not directly.
Yeah, no, it was the way they talk about it with the rabbi. It was more just feel your feelings. You're not gonna get over any of this until you actually deal with that stuff. But the way she gets over it, the way she has to get over it, is to realize that she's not being quite fair, right? And
it's interesting because JMS is.
But unlike the guy in Progress, she actually does have a point and a beef. With her father. You understand why she feels that way. But at the end of the day, he was her father, and we saw them bond again on the deathbed.
Exactly.
I almost think this would have been better if we hadn't seen that. Because I also thought it was horribly written.
Right.
Well, it's interesting because JMS is not afraid to not be subtle. JMS is not afraid of being
Sap or
yeah. He's where am I going with this?
He doesn't mind just being blatant about.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just not the most subtle writer, and this is too far. And like he didn't write this episode.
I think he's like Peter David in that way.
Yes,
I think
they're
very similar.
They are very similar.
Yeah, he didn't write this, so he didn't write.
But he didn't write this episode. This is too far, even for like a JMS show production. I mean, he's kind of blatant, but this. Just the second she starts talking, it's
she's like, he didn't give us his love or whatever. I'm like, nobody says that. I checked out the same way I do when somebody says, he betrayed me. Nobody I know has ever said that. Except for, like, people who try to pattern everything they say off of TV shows they watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that ends up being, kind of the dragon eating its own tail. And then the A story is about this friend of Garibaldi's who's a boxer, and he comes on the station and
he's a disgraced boxer.
Yeah, and he wants his chance at the big fight. And he gets that on Babylon 5 with a group of aliens that I thought were xenophobic, and it turns out all of them just don't want humans involved in this because I guess they just don't think that we're built for it and we're good enough, and you'll
which is why at the end they're like, I guess we can let humans in.
Yeah, and talk about not subtle. We got that. That, I don't know. That was almost like a cartoon plot or something. Felt almost Power Rangers. But that's once again, it's a real padded out story. I don't feel like we needed to see everything we saw with that.
Well, the thing I like about, in contrast to the previous episodes that we've seen thus far, is that we have done a lot of the old friend comes back, but they're not the person that they used to be, or they were never the person you thought they were. This is when they bring up the boxing scandal thing, and he gives his version of the story. I feel like in most of the other episodes of the season, you would find out, no, he actually was, juicing or whatever, and he was thrown out, and his story's not what really happened.
You mean like when Ivanova's ex, who she
yes, you remember him?
Is part of the home guard and stuff.
Yeah. So I think contrast, because we also get one of those with the doctor and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just contrast-wise, it's nice that he is legitimately what he says he is. Yeah. Because I feel like we've done a couple of episodes already into the show that we're...
Yeah, and by now you wouldn't remotely surprise us with it. Yeah. It wouldn't be like a cool twist or something.
Yeah, and that's the prop I can give the story.
That's a really good point, and you want at least some examples of lasting friendships, and I bought at least those guys as friends.
Yeah.
I thought they had a really good rapport. Right. I thought some of his dialogue was cheesy and hilarious. And you can tell this isn't JMS because this guy, and you said he worked on Beast Wars.
He's one of the two head writers of Beast Wars.
This guy is working overtime to let us know that we're in the future. And he's making up like phrases and slang and stuff that, as you said, will never be used again. Yeah. My favorite thing about this episode is how Mortal Kombat it is, and I absolutely loved the Sayer. He was just wonderful. The guy who calls the fights, or who runs everything and starts the fights and stuff. He had kind of a stereotypical Asian way of talking and calling that stuff, where he's like, "Rah!" But I liked him. I thought he was hilarious. Maybe actually the best thing technically about this episode is all the makeup. It's wonderful, and it's the most I think aliens and different species all at one time you've seen. It's very like later DS9 like in the bar with, or the promenade with just a whole bunch of different aliens, except Babylon 5 impresses. So everything that doesn't work with Babylon 5 in space, they make up for inside the station with makeup. Everything they don't do well with CG, they do incredibly well with practical effects, and they make Babylon 5 look like what I think Roddenberry always wanted Star Trek to look like. And I mean, like, you'd love to have more non-humanoid species that aren't bipedal, and that's difficult to do. So if you can't do it, you at least go nuts with how alien the faces are. And there's this one guy we kept talking about who had this like, he had like the sideways mouth, and it was really creepy looking, really impressive, and they obviously knew how cool it looked because they would not stop showing him.
Yes. I noticed also, like, they do just a really great job of making it seem like a really busy hub.
Yeah, there's always a lot of people. It's always full of extras.
More than Deep Space Nine even and stuff, even though it's supposed to be like this big thing next to the wormhole and stuff.
And to be fair, you have more people on Babylon 5,
That's
and
true.
It's larger,
That
and
is
it's
true.
a society unto itself.
Right.
In a way, I mean, it's not. It's part of Earth society, but
it's like a city in space.
But it's a city, yeah. It's a community, and DS9 is a community, but there's more people coming in and out. There's more hustle and bustle, and it's less of the same people there all the time, I think, than obviously Babylon 5, which is a whole sprawling city with a bunch of different facets. Now, you're having said that, reminds me of this other point I wanted to make, which is I don't know that it's not a little bit too convenient that they have major, maybe televised boxing matches on Babylon 5.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It seems like Earth would be where that would happen.
Right.
I just wasn't sure I
was
bought
it
that.
actually on TV or was it just in
Like
sports, like an announcement or something?
I wasn't sure, but here's
it might
the
have just been
problem.
televised around the station.
Right, but if it was, I don't buy that it was as big of a deal to that guy as it was then.
Yeah, because it made it seem like he
be,
was the champ.
It would need to be professional.
Yeah.
It would need to be the professional thing.
Right.
And so I don't know if that I
that's totally fair.
buy
Yeah,
that.
it's like a little sector of the station.
Yeah, he's the champ of the station.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We should mention the Harlan Ellison book. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, Ivana was reading
Ivana was
Harlan
reading.
Ellison. Harlan Ellison is a creative consultant on the show, and will appear as an alien in one episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He also shot a behind-the-scenes documentary that we will never see because they will not pay him to put it on the DVD, so he would not let them use it.
And cheapskates.
Yep. He's never wrong.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, they I don't know. I've never read that book, of course, so I'm sure it has some significance to what she was going through in some way.
I would think so. Well, and I don't know because as far as I'm aware, he doesn't traditionally write novels. He writes short stories. So that might be a bunch of stories. I don't know.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because he's written it's like 200 short stories.
And who knows which one she's reading if it's a book of short stories. I also wondered how many of the people at the end in that room were Jewish.
Right.
And if there are a bunch of Jewish people on that station.
Yeah. Well, and we know that unlike Star Trek, all of the religions have survived.
That's really cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I don't know about you. Maybe we could launch into a quick discourse about this because this would be a good place to do it. I don't know that
bonus round.
I don't know that I don't buy both of those takes equally.
No, I agree.
can see it happening either way.
Right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, in Star Trek, I can understand where Roddenberry was going with that, but in Babylon 5, I also, could see.
Now, the one thing is that...
Well, that's more about the motivation of the people writing it. Like, I also just see the future. Like I see the arguments for both. I see, we discovered there was a bunch of, like, the universe opened up to us. It's not so Earth-centric, even though Star Trek is pretty Earth-centric, but it seems to not contradict the idea of a creator, but it's difficult to buy particular religions the way they were. And so it's easier to have a more, I don't know, kind of approach to religion as opposed to I'm positive it's what I always thought it was.
Right.
Now the more,
but the Bab 5 way kind of makes sense too, where people would really hold to their traditions.
I don't know if they talked about this yet with Dr. Franklin, but there's actually like a bunch of like new religions sprung up after humans made contact with aliens and stuff. And like his religion that he's part of is called like the Foundationists or something like that, where they believe like they take all these parts of different religions and stuff and try to incorporate them.
Find the root of all religions that unites everything.
Yes.
Which makes a lot of sense because you'd be like, well, one of them has to be right. Statistically, mine probably isn't. So maybe there's truth.
There's Satan, then there's Fecklor, and there's
Fecklor, right? Fecklor.
Yes.
We just watched Devil's Due the other day. So I don't know. I was gonna make a point about that. But now,
but just that you think they're both valid interpretations of where we could possibly go in the future.
Yeah.
Now, the one big thing that I think you could assume that we don't do, because there's no way to actually do this without being unfair. I don't think all of the religions would necessarily make it. Like, I think some would make it, and then there would be new ones, and...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that whole line of all those people.
Yeah, it's and we've heard of all of them. Yeah, like they all exist right now.
The Sherman one where they're like, you know, and the coffee table god. But let me
the Pastafarian.
So let me ask you this: in Babylon 5, do you ever have any cross pollination? Do you ever have any places where people were like humans or some other species
take up like a Centauri religion,
the religion of another species? Because you'd think some of that would happen too.
Maybe
because religious conversion happens on our planet all the time.
A little bit, maybe with the Mimbari.
There's a thing I'm trying to remember.
Wouldn't think would happen with the Nara.
It happens where somebody's like trading and stuff, and this guy, like this human, claims to like believe in like a Drazi maker religion or something like that. And
weird.
Yeah, so they like that's what I think Garibaldi called it, the maker religion. Like there's like, you know how like the Centauri talk about the great maker. There's like, I guess like that's like a thing with some of the other.
There's like kinds of like there's genres of religion. There's the maker religions and there's the you know, different kinds of religions.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and you like the monotheist, the polytheist.
Yeah. But
anyway, I just want to talk about that for a minute.
That's the only instance I can think of. Off the top of my head.
I would think some of that would happen.
Yes.
And I would think cults would spring up around that kind of thing too. You know, where you'd have humans that maybe like didn't get a religion or became really obsessed with it and took it the wrong way too far or something.
Right.
But anyway, well, everybody, thanks as always for watching. We sure appreciate it. Adam, please come back. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We really enjoyed it. It would be nice to have you as often as you want to come because it's really cool to have an expert or at least somebody that knows a lot about both of these shows while Eric and I are for the first time. Because what I discovered doing this was that you're able to help check us when one of us doesn't remember something as well, and that's really nice.
It's fun. I've never had anybody to talk about with Babylon 5 before. I don't know. It's kind of a forgotten show.
It's really unfortunate.
In some way. It's really sad. Yeah, I think part of that's due to it not really being available on streaming platforms.
It's on. It was a little bit on Netflix,
but that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, and it's also they have not released it in Blu-ray. There's no remastered version or anything like that. Where like
exactly,
it looks film quality and
Yeah, and I mean I don't watch broadcast TV much anymore, but it's probably not on any channels anywhere. It's probably not.
I've never seen it on any syndication. Of those MeTV things.
And even like back in the day, it was never on UPN.
Sci-Fi used to play it.
Channel.
Was it? Okay.
Yes, for a long time, and it just disappeared eventually off there.
Mm-hmm. It strikes me as a lot like the '60s Batman, where it should be in syndication, but it didn't pop up that much. I mean, '60s Batman does now, but it didn't used to.
Right.
It was on Family Channel, and then it dropped, and then you didn't see it much.
Mm.
But anyway, we'll be back again to talk to you about the next 2 episodes next time. I know one of the weirder, not kind of awful, really, episodes of DS9 is next time, and I have no idea about the Babylon 5 episode.
We looked at that. Yeah, the next one's the Holy Grail. That's right.
I am excited about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see you again. Thanks a lot for watching. I am Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Adam.
See you, folks.